It's this beautiful bunch of chains that together forms up a dahlia. On this video, I'm going to teach you how to make a dahlia. I'm going to be using a 4mm hook and some cotton yarn size 4. Okay, we're going to start with a slip knot and we're going to start with a base ring. For your base ring, you want to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we want to close off this ring by doing a slip stitch into the first chain that you made. So we insert our hook into it, grab the yarn, and pull through to close. And we're going to be working into the center of that ring. Now for row 1, we're going to chain 1, and you want to work 12 single crochets into the ring. So here is 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to do a total of 12. I'll see you when I'm done. Okay, I just did my 12 single crochet. The first one's kind of hiding a little bit because it got kind of squished. So just be careful with that. But to finish off this row, you want to do a slip stitch into the first single crochet of the row. And I know that's the one. So insert your hook and do a slip stitch. And this here is the end of row 1. For row 2, we're going to actually work in the back loop only of each of the single crochets. We're going to start with a chain 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And we're going to do a slip stitch into the very first single crochet. So into the same one that you did a slip stitch earlier, into there, another slip stitch. And now we're going to start the row repeat. We're going to do a slip stitch into the next single crochet, but in the back loop only. This first one's a bit of an exception because you didn't really have a front and back, but moving forward, you're going to work in the back loop only. So we go in the back loop only, do a slip stitch, and from here, we're going to work a chain 12. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I believe I did 7, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And we're going to do another slip stitch into the same stitch and in the back loop only. And this is what you want to do all the way around to create your petals. I'm going to do it one more time with you. Into the next stitch, a slip stitch into the back loop only. Then a chain 12. And then a slip stitch into the same stitch, back loop only. And that's another petal. So do this all the way around and I'll see you when you're done. Okay, I just finished my last repetition here and you'll notice that you have a very full flower now. So to end the row, you basically end the row doing a slip stitch into the last stitch that you did your last petal into. And that finishes row 2. Row 3 is going to be worked as row 1, but we're going to be working in the front loop only. So you know how you went in the back. So the front loop of those single crochets is now exposed right here, these lines around here. So you're going to go under that loop for row 3. So row 3 is going to start at a chain, let me see this. You're going to chain 8 only. So before we chain 12, now this is just going to be 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we're going to come find the front loop of the stitch. This very first one was different because we didn't have a back loop to go into. So I'm going to have to pick an arbitrary point and do a slip stitch there. But moving forward, we're going to do the front loop only. So that's my chain 8. Let's do that again. Chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now the front loop of the next stitch is exposed here. So I'm going to do a slip stitch into there. And this is what we want to do all the way around. Chain 8, then do a slip stitch into the same stitch, then into the next one, another slip stitch, chain 8, slip stitch into the same, then into the next stitch, slip stitch, chain 8, slip stitch. So you're creating those smaller petals in front of the bigger petals. Remember, this one's a chain 8 for this row, but basically repeat row 2 in the front loop only and with chain 8s. So do that and I'll see you when you're done. And here we have it, guys. At the beginning, it kind of just feels like a lot of like very knotted, but you kind of have to just play around with the loops and move them around. But it creates this really beautiful flower. A little harder to show you like this. I feel like it looks better when it's laying flat. But yeah, it's just this beautiful kind of bunch of chains. And together it looks like a little dahlia. So this is what it looks like. I feel like this would be really cute if you sew it on top of a square. Give it some sort of background or just as an applique on any other surface would be really pretty as well. All done so. Hey, while you're at it, why don't you just subscribe to my channel? Just do it. Just do it.